Hey YouTube, it's me, ActiveDock Captain. Today we're going to be looking at 30 awesome tweaks for your new Evasion Jailbreak. These will work on any of the iOS devices running iOS 6. That's what I'm currently running it on. I'm sure it will work. They will run on iOS 5 as well, but I have only tested them on iOS 6.1.2 is what I'm currently running them on now. First one I want to share with you is called ActiveDock. And this one was just released a week or so ago, and it sells for $1.99 in the Cydia store. Big Boss Repo, I think, is where it was at. And what it does is it adds a new way to multitask. You can see when I double tap, the bottom of my screen pops up my multitask with a screenshot of every app that I have running in the background. Okay, the cool thing about this is if I want to close, let's say I want to close PayPal, I just simply swipe down and that closes it. You can actually close 2 at a time if you can get them to hit just right, and you might be able to do 3 at a time. Yep. So you can do up to how many fingers you can get on the screen, looks like. Alright, also if you swipe to the left, you have all your music controls in your iTunes app, and if you swipe to the left again, you have some toggles. And you can set these toggles to be whatever you want them to in whatever order you want them to be. And this is your brightness right here. It is a little finicky, and it does have this little button here to turn your flashlight on for the camera flash. That makes it easy to get in the dark at night. But you just swipe all the way to the left and you swipe right to get through them. That's called ActiveDock. The next one I'm going to share is called InfiniDock, and what it does is it lets you scroll left and right with your dock, and you can put more than 4 icons in the dock at one time. And this works excellent on the iPad. I really don't use it a whole lot on the iPhone, but I wanted to throw it out there, as well as InfiniBoard. InfiniBoard lets you scroll up and down too. And I think those are $1.99 each. Another new one that just came out is called Hook's Law, but it has a % sign in front of it. And what it does is it adds a little bit more bounce to when you open your device, your applications. And it's got a few settings up here at the top. I would take a screenshot of this. That way, when you change these numbers, you can always go back to where they originally were. And we'll only change this one here, and I'm going to change it from 400 to 100, and that's going to really slow it down. So watch this. Okay, you can see it gets a lot slower. My weather app's crashing, looks like. I got a lot of apps on here, but anyway, it just slows everything down, and it's pretty cool app to play around with. Another one that you might want to check out that I like to use is called Action Menu, and you see it adds a lot more other options to your copy and paste. You can add the history is what I really like using. Say we go in here to the Notes app, and let's go back anyway to here to where it says Candy, and let's highlight some of this stuff here. If I select copy, okay, the cool thing about this now, I can come down here underneath it and just paste that right in, and I can select that by hitting the little arrow over here and then hitting that. But you can also pull your history up, everything that you've copied, like down through there. If I wanted to put any of that up on the screen, I can simply just tap that and it'll paste it in as well. Another one is called Activator. These are old tweaks, but I wanted to throw them out there in case somebody is new. Activator lets you add gestures anywhere on your device. Say if I wanted to open up my Safari by simply swiping the status bar to the right. Let's go swipe status bar to the right. Let's find that. Alright, let's scroll down here. Status bar. Swipe status bar to the right, swipe right. I've got it set to Safari. Okay, so when I swipe my status bar up here at the top, it's going to open that up every time. And you see that Free My Apps, I'll have that link down below if you guys want to grab that. It's a cool way to earn some extra money on iTunes or Amazon and earn free apps if you want those. Auxo, we've already looked at. That's the one at the bottom. Actually, I think I called that ActiveDock a while ago, and that's not ActiveDock. ActiveDock, the first one should have been called Auxo, A-U-X-O. And this one here we're going to talk about now is called ActiveDock. ActiveDock lets you put some Mac-like features to your dock. And what it does is, let's go in here to ActiveDock and let me show you what it does. When I enable that, okay, now when I open an application, my dock will actually bounce. When I open up Safari, see how it bounces just a little bit right there? Pretty cool way, and it puts the little light. See how I got a little light under the phone app, the Safari app, and Mail app? That lets me know that those applications are currently open and running in the background. And you can also set it to bounce, like if I get a text message or where I have those 8 emails, it'll bounce until I open those if you want to enable that. However, I have had a little bit of trouble with that, but I'm sure that they'll get that worked out. Another one I use a lot is called BlurriedNCBackground. What that does is it lets you blur the background on your notification center. And you see right here how you can't see through that. It looks transparency, but the back of it looks blurred. Okay, that is from BlurriedNCBackground. And another one you saw there probably that I use a lot is called Color Knob. And it's on your lock screen. Flip it up, see how mine is blue. Okay, you can change that simply by going to Color Knob and change that, let's say, to green. Now when I open up my lock screen, I'll have a green one. Okay, that's called Colored Knob. It's supposed to be colored with an ED, knob. Another one I'm using is called Color Keyboard. And you saw a while ago when I opened up my keyboard, you see how it's red and black? To me, that just sort of stands out, makes it easier to see. You can change it to whatever color you want simply by going into Color Keyboard. You see I've got to enable it, go to Themes. You can choose from any of these themes you see selected here. I have the red G1 selected. They have a MacBook Pro one in here if you want to use it, but you have to respring each time that you change it. And you can also change the border width, and you can increase it by moving the scroller here. And they also have a theme gallery in here if you want to get in there and look around and use some of those themes. Alright, another one on my notification center is called the camera with a K, K-A-M-E-R-A. And you see right here where it says front camera and rear camera. Okay, if I tap the front camera, that's going to bring it to the front camera and you'll be able to see me. If I take it to the rear camera, then you're going to be able to see the back camera. Okay, pretty awesome, pretty quick way to get everything up going if you need to take a quick photo. Another awesome photo tweak is called Dater, D-A-T-E-R, and this is 99 cents. And what it does is it actually adds the date and time to every photo that you take. And let me go to my photos here, and let's open them up and go down here. And you see right there at the bottom it says 2/27/13, 1:52 p.m. Okay, if I didn't have that tweak installed, I wouldn't have that on the screen. And I like knowing when all of my pictures were actually taken. And you see right there, that's when that one was added, 2/26. And it's just a really cool tweak to have. And let's see here. Camera tweak is also another photo tweak that you can add, and it's 99 cents too. And you see right here, you got some little options on the screen. You can actually pull the focus down here on the keyboard and up on the monitor at the same time. And you can change the white balance simply by just tapping that little white balance right here. And you can also tap the little silver knob down here and it pulls up some different things. You can set timers, burst, and all kinds of different things if you want to play around with that. Display recorder, that is the tweak that I'm actually using right now to get my iPhone screen on my Mac screen. And right there it is, and I think it's $4.99 display recorder, and you can actually record anything on your device's screen and record it right from here and upload it to YouTube directly from this tweak. It's an awesome tweak. It's been around a long time, but it has been updated for iOS 6, and it's working awesome, let me tell you. And right here's the settings. You see you got different video formats you can choose from. You can choose to record the audio or not record the audio. You can change the scale. There's just a whole lot of different. You can actually enable it for an activator if you want to start the display recorder by swiping the status bar to the right. That's actually able to be done right here. And here's your YouTube username and password. You type those credentials in, and then you're ready to upload directly from here to YouTube. Alright, on my lock screen also, you see I have a RSS feed up here at the top along with the clock, and I have some SB settings here, and I have the weather. I have this other little thing here in this music player and my camera. All this stuff here comes from IntelliScreenX. Without IntelliScreenX, I wouldn't have that stuff there that way. And you can also scroll through and read your mail, your Facebook, your Twitter. All that stuff can be done simply by just a swipe, and it's $9.99. And the little SB settings that you saw right here, that comes pre-installed with IntelliScreenX. But down here at the bottom, you see this little bar right here that I'm moving. That's actually called NC settings, and that's something like SB settings only on your notification center, and it's free. All right. Another application that's got a lot of talk is one called Pages Plus. And what it does, you can actually change your background by every time you scroll, it will actually change as you move through your springboard. And I have actually got mine set to a wallpaper that I have, and I don't want to have to take the time to go in here and change everything around to show you that. But let's see. Alright, let's see if I set it to that. Both. Now, alright, now you can see the little pages is going to be coming up here, hopefully. Alright, it requires a respring. But anyway, while it's respringing, if it don't start working, you can get it for $1.99. And what it does, each time you scroll through your springboard, when you go from one page to the next, it will actually change. Okay, yeah, now it's working. So you see when I go from page 1 to 2 to 3, it's changing the background every time. So it is working. All right, another tweak you want to check out is called Password Palette. I use this every day. What it does is it keeps me from having to type in my Apple password every single time I want to install a free tweak or something like that. You just simply tap it, and when I hit install, it'll pop up right here in a minute, and it'll already have my password pre-installed. You do that under the settings. You type your password in there, and it'll put it in, and you just hit that OK button. And I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to download it. But anyway, moving along to another one I use a lot. It's called Package Backup. And it puts a little icon on your springboard. But I don't know exactly where it's at right now. You guys are probably looking right at it. Package Backup. Right up here in the top left corner right here. Now, this will save your tweaks just the same way as iTunes saves your applications. Alright? If you have to restore your device, this will save all the Cydia tweaks that you have installed on your device. You have to back them up first by hitting that backup button down there. And you can also change some of the settings here if you want to upload your backup to Dropbox or SugarSync or SkyDrive or Box, any of that stuff, which is a good idea. You can actually restore all your Cydia tweaks with just a couple taps, and it's awesome, guys. It's $9.99. Okay, that PowerMusic Player I was showing you earlier, it sells for $1, and this is it right here, this little white looking thing. In the scroll bar here, you can play music, and you can open any albums that might be on your device from right here, and you can tap play, forward, rewind from right there, and it's $1. And another cool tweak is the little Superman you see up there in the status bar. That's coming from Zeppelin. Zeppelin is free, and you can download many different little themes for it to put in different things in the status bar that you may want to put up there to your liking. You see right here the theme, I have Superman. Okay, if I wanted to put the Android sign up there, I could do that, or the Apple. We'll put it on Apple and leave it there. Another tweak you probably want to get into is called Ifile. It's $4.99, and it lets you SSH directly into your device on your device. You don't have to connect to a computer. You can go in and do a lot of different stuff here. If you're a themer, you'll definitely need this to change your themes and that kind of stuff. LiveClock puts the clock on your springboard live. You see right now I have the live time currently at 2:45 with the second hand moving and everything. LiveClock, it's free. Look who's talking now. That's a cool way to change the typers on your device, they're called. What it means is it makes this little goofy sound every time you open it up. And I hate that. But anyway, you can go in here to some of the saved ones that I have, and you see every time that I type a message to myself, let me see if I can get it to pop up, that it actually those are icons on there. That's from RageBoard. That's another one we'll talk about, and it's $4.99. But let me see if I can send myself a message and get it to show you guys how this looks on here. Okay, you should have seen me start typing to myself on there, but it's not popping up for some reason. What it does is when the other person starts typing into the iMessage, it'll actually put that little Apple symbol up there, and it says the other person is typing now. It's a pretty cool little tweak, and it does work. I used it, and I enjoy it. Like I said, RageBoard, what that does is you can go in here, go down here to your little globe, hold it down where you got your emoji board installed, and scroll up to RageBoard now, and you see you got all these different emojis, is what I call them, that you can install. There are some vulgar ones on here that has some very graphic language, so you want to keep that in mind. Be careful about that. It is $4.99. Alright, SwipeSelection is another one that works sort of with text messaging. So let's go back to our, if I wanted to go in, well, let's not go to text message, let's go back to notes, and say I wanted to move the scroller from the S up to the C. I can simply swipe over the keyboard letters and move it precisely where I want it, rather than trying to fight the little bubble right there, which gets very annoying. That's called SwipeSelection, and it's free. ProTube is awesome as well, and what ProTube does is it goes and adds some much needed features into your YouTube app, your Google YouTube app. And what it does is, if I were going to download or play this, if I wanted to download this directly on my device, the little arrow pointing down right there, I simply could tap that and choose which, if I want it in 720 down to 240 AP. Now it's coming through all those messages I sent. I wonder if it's popping up the, well, anyway. Like another one is WinTerBoard. That's an awesome way to theme your device. And you see I've got several themes on here. But if you're going to theme your device, you're going to have WinTerBoard. It's free. SoftwareUpdate Killer. I recommend adding this in to keep from updating your software accidentally, because currently if you go to 6.1.3, you're not going to be able to be jailbroken, and all it is going into the software update. Right here you see I don't have the option to update my software, so it just blocks that out. But those are some awesome tweaks, guys. Grab them, check them out, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget, guys, if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button before you leave, and keep coming back.